to the first Stretch with Dave of the new year. Happy to be on camera again, working with you guys for some group exercise classes. Unfortunate with current lockdowns, but we're going to try to give you the best experience that we can with what we're able to. Close that window, bit of a glare there. Maybe turn on some lights. So, like I said in the comments there, or description, all we need is a chair, all ability levels welcome. I have the comments on the other screen if you have any questions. This is going to be relatively simple. Before we get started, I just want to say how important it is that we continue to get up and move. Burnout is right now higher than ever, and it's sometimes hard to find motivation to do things. Even though we have the energy to do them, it's just difficult to get up and get going. So use these live videos, use whatever cue you can to get up and do the things that provide you self-care, take care of your health, so that you're able to, eventually, hopefully rejuvenate from this burnout, and you're coming out of it in a good state and not in a state where you're, extremely burnt out, extremely fatigued, and possibly ill. So without further ado, we will get started. Just have a cat chewing on cords. These are the realities of working from home. We're just going to start with a forward fold combo. So all I do here is I hinge from the hips. I crawl down, my hands down my legs. I keep my legs mostly straight. And again, I don't need to reach my toes. I don't need to touch the floor. I just feel a stretch in my hamstring here. And then I'm going to stand up, pulling back on my left fingers, arms overhead, push my hips to the left, lean to the right, push my hips to the right, lean to the left. All right. We're going to go again here. We stand up, pulling back on the right fingers this time, arms overhead, hips to the left, lean to the right. To the right, lean to the left. We're going to do that 2 more times. Each time we're doing a different wrist motion here. Just breathe naturally through this. Okay, so this time I'm pulling down on my left fingers. Arms overhead, same thing. And last one. This time pushing down on the right finger. So starting today is our personal best program. If you haven't signed up for it, we are reusing workout videos from last year just because there are so many of them. So our chest opener, we're just grabbing our hands behind our back, pulling our shoulders back and down, chest is open and up. So there's a couple different avenues that we're focusing on, preparing for a 5K, body composition and nutrition, as well as strength and conditioning or performance. So if any of those sort of seem like something that you might like to do over the next 12 weeks, we're just going to relax, swing these out. Then, you can contact me on how to sign up for the program, or just go on my website and sign up for that. So I'm just swinging my arms open and crossing my body. And then I'm going to do that once more, opening up the chest. And we plan to work as much individually as we can with you via Teams, just to try to give you some extra motivation, some extra, encouragement to go forward, as well as some instruction as well if you have any questions. We understand how difficult it can be exercising from home. This is the 3rd calendar year. We just want to do our best to help you do your best so that you're, again, coming out somewhat healthy. We're going to do our crescent lunge. Exaggerated step forward with our left foot. I push my hips forward. Chest is nice and tall. Arms in line with my ears with my thumbs pointing right backwards. And, with the lockdown, things might not be, as they were a couple of weeks ago when we were able to go to the fitness centers. And you might not see the same progress. So we're going to now take an exaggerated step forward with our right foot. You might not see the same level of progress that you were seeing because you don't have access to the same equipment or the same resources. But what you can do is your best with what you're given. And I know that's not always extremely motivating to hear, but it can be a really good thing because it gives us an opportunity to mix things up. And we might get progress in different areas. So we're going to do our side lunge, side lean. So I'm going to take an exaggerated step to the right, push my hips to the right hand on my right leg, and then my left arm is going to almost go into like a hook shot where I'm stretching out this side here. And we'll switch sides. And sometimes it's, with not having access to the fitness centers, it's very easy to stop doing anything. And believe me, I was only doing, teaching my fitness classes. I wasn't doing much in terms of fitness because I was so demotivated. And then the fitness centers opened up again, and I was going relatively religiously. And it stops again, and then you get a little bit demotivated. We're going to do that one more time on each side. But the worst thing that I could do or that you could do is nothing inactivity. Sort of breeds those negative thought patterns where we start thinking that we can't do things or it's pointless or we're not motivated to do anything because we've had these setbacks. But that's sort of the resilience factor of it all is we need to be able to bend, be malleable, adapt. And sometimes that means just, doing what we can. We're going to go to our chair and do our seated pigeon. So I'm going to sit on the edge of my chair and take my left leg, cross it over my right, slightly forward. So something I told people a lot last year, and it goes pretty hand in hand with burnout, because, like I said, burnout is a lack of motivation. It's not a lack of energy or a lack of trying. It's just it's hard to get going. Is we have to create action before motivation. Sometimes just doing things will make it so that you get the motivation, right? You get on the street with your running or walking shoes and you start walking and you see what happens, right? You're not looking for the motivation, you're already doing it. It could be these exercise videos, right, where you just start doing the video, you just start doing the stretches. I switched sides, by the way. And then, the motivation comes afterwards. So sometimes we just need to start doing things before we get the motivation, because, like I said, we're going to go back to the first side. Left leg crossed over, slightly forward. Like I said, with, sort of the level of burnout that the world is seeing right now, it's very difficult to find motivation. So just get your feet moving, and the motivation will come afterwards, and you'll feel a lot better for doing it. All right, and then back to the right side. chair triangles. I'm going to turn the chair this way so you can see. There you go, right hand on the chair, left hand on the inside of the right leg. And I'm just going to turn it open, up. 5 per side. We're just doing regular triangles today, no reverse. And this is nice because we get a bit of a twist. Left hand on the chair, left leg forward, right hand on the inside of the right leg, and we turn in the open. And then we have our chair hamstring stretch. So we're going to go left leg on the chair, toe pointed towards the shin, and we're just going to lean forward slightly. I'm going to turn my torso towards my left leg. You can feel how that migrates the stretch. And then we're going to, I'm pointing my right toe outwards now, and I'm opening up my torso to outside of my left leg. So really turning and opening up, and you can feel how that, again, migrates the stretch. And we'll switch sides. Right leg on the chair, toe pointed towards the shin. You can slightly forward. Hamstrings get very tight when we're sitting, and it doesn't really matter your job. People are sitting more than ever now. This is across the board. And when we sit, our hamstrings are in a flexed position, which means they get tight. And we're going to turn our torso to the right now. And the other side of that is, now I'm going to open up, I'm losing my balance here. We're going to open up, left toe point out, legs still straight. The other point of this is your hamstrings are being flexed because we are seated more, but they're also getting weak because the hamstrings don't really do much when we're seated. So it's important that we're doing some strengthening exercises as well as stretching them. So that we're not getting these low back pains, these other issues caused by tight and weak hamstrings. All right, so last but not least, we have our quick neck stretches, and I'm going to come a little closer for these. So our first one is we're just going to go right ear to right shoulder without elevating the shoulder, and then with our left hand, we're just crawling down our left side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch sides. Crazy, I know. We don't hold these stretches very long because they're tight and small muscles. All right, so next one that we're going to do is we're going to go right ear to right shoulder again, but I'm looking up this time. You can feel how that gets in this area of the neck. And we'll switch sides. So again, just looking up, getting the chin up a little bit. Feel how that brings it more to the front of the neck. And we'll look down, look up, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and we'll just sort of shake it out. And that will do it for our 15-minute stretch. In conclusion to this stretch, just remember the action before motivation. Get moving, take care of yourself, and with that action before motivation piece, that goes for reaching out for help too, whether it's related to fitness or mental health. It never hurts to send off a quick email just saying, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that. We'd be happy to help you the best that we can. And if personal best sounds like something that might, give you that little kick in the pants that you need to continue to move forward, sign up for that. You'll get to work with a coach one-on-one. But that is our 15-minute stretch video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on Wednesday for a 30-minute 30-minute dumbbell class. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next time.